what if I tell you I have solved chapter 6? More so what exactly it will be about and how the entire chapter 6 will go. Which, just to start this off with a teaser, the Mega Reality will return with a big focus on the Japanese mythology. The 7, the Imagine Order, the Last Reality, all of the original factions returning, with actual teasers in the game to show us that. Then my biggest theory in a while, something that if it happens, it would be the coolest moment in the history of Fortnite. And exactly what I showed in the thumbnail of this video. The Ageless, Valeria and Montague, Megalodon, all of the villains we have recently been getting. I believe that every single one of these have a big reason to exist. They all come together uniting, and with the lead of either Ageless or Geno, they create a new Imagine Order, or so Order Restored. Now this theory is way more complex and awesome than you think it is. So let Professor Lore get in the kitchen, grab some pan and just cook a yummy meal for you. Oh wait, what did I do? No, wait, what did I do? Chapter 4 was said to be the origin of the Imagine Order. We saw the homeworld of Geno, the leader of Io, an advanced kingdom built upon a magical material called the kinetic ore, with a ruler very interested into exploring the other worlds around him, especially a frozen kingdom which comes from the same world where Ice King originates from, which we know that's exactly where the Ageless learned how to control the ice from, already beginning to grow stronger. Then we got to see other worlds being brought in as well, like Mega and Jungle, these worlds which have said to be directly connected to the Imagine Order, and the people of them being first to create and lead this organization, also be part of the inner circle. But that was chapter 4, the origin of Io. Now we are within chapter 5. The Ageless is here with us, and even Odyssey was fully designed based on him. So what if I tell you, chapter 5's whole point is to rebuild the Order. We saw how the original Io's creation was started from. Now we get to see how a new Imagine Order gets created. Which, for you to understand why I think that, let's go through all of the villains of this chapter. We first had Valeria, a person with extremely similar personalities to Geno himself, wanting to create a perfect society, invested in growing herself more powerful than anything else, and also hungry for learning all of the knowledge there is, and specially interested into the 0 point. Then her original concept design looked even more like Geno, with the exact same hair color as Geno. Then we got Montague. He was basically the new Midas, a crime boss, a former king who steals wealth for himself just like Midas used to. But rather than gold, he has the power of diamond and to fully turn himself into it. Which the best part is, Midas was one of the most important bosses within Io. He made that faction as rich as it was. Geno will definitely need another rich man to help him create the Io again, and we got one right here. Now on to season 2, the Greek gods arriving on the island. Zeus was the main villain of this season, and the one who tried to kill all of the mortals because his kingdom was in danger. But now his kingdom has completely fallen, as in that same season we took away his immortality. Yet Fortnite has teased more storyline on Zeus with how this medic actually saved his life. So what exactly is that new story coming for him? Well, think about it, isn't there maybe someone who can give Zeus everything he lost? Maybe a man skilled in genetic science who can give you immortality, aka Geno giving Zeus his immortality back in return of his help for creating a new Io. Then we got Megalodon, a man who trusted a mysterious cook being for personal gains, wanting to grow even more powerful by destroying the island and stealing his powers like Pandora's box, just so that Wanderer turns out to be Doom himself, using Megalo for his own goals all this time, then betraying him, breaking his ego as he takes away the Nitro and all of the powers that Megalodon had away from him. Now this shark is the one being hunted and also needs to hide. Yet Geno is amazing at knowing how to grow people more powerful, maybe even him needing Megalodon's Nitro for running the technology of a new Io, as Geno's original brute and war general Gunner sadly got killed by Doom. So what if the same person who got betrayed by Doom, and the person who looks so similar to Gunner to the point that a lot of people thought that he actually is Gunner, that guy rather than being Gunner himself is meant to be the replacement of him. He's gonna become the new general of Io's army, the Brute. Do you finally see what I'm getting at? Geno never created the Io all by himself, he was the leader of it, but many other people helped him out to make his imagination become a reality. One of those people was Midas. His crime family and extreme wealth funded all of the cost and resources needed to create this faction, but now most of the original people on Geno's side either betrayed him or abandoned him. So to create a new Io, he needs a new group of powerful beings who are willing to help him out, wants to form a new inner circle out of, so exactly 6 villains. But of course, for this to happen, this is to be a mutual benefit for all of the villains, which is why I say Geno will teach Valeria all of the secrets of the Omniverse, especially the 0 point, even giving her the powers that she wants, in return of Valeria becoming his right hand, maybe even his new love. Then he finds Montague. That guy also really wants to create a perfect society, so why not join in to do it together with Geno? And so he would allow Montague to grow into the greatest crime family out there, the crime boss. Also replacing what Midas used to be, since that man is back to being a king. In return of Geno helping him with that, he covers all of the fundings that Io needs with his money, and to help them get the things they need with his crime family. Zeus, as I said, is extremely weak now. He lost his kingdom, he lost his immortality, everything he used to be. So Geno offers him a new better life, and also to be the great god again, or even give his immortality back, something that Geno is great at it. That in return of Zeus using his godly powers to support a new Imagine Order, to control the world and its evolution. Now Geno is missing an army, people who are great at fighting and can protect and destroy his enemies, or even fuel needed to run his technologies and his world. Well, Megalodon just got horribly betrayed by the same man who betrayed Geno too, losing all of his power, and the man who used to be the shark running away and hiding. So Geno brings up to him how Doom also betrayed him in the past, and how he could make sure that never happens again if Megalodon joined his side, giving that man his powers back and even growing him much stronger. All of that in return of Megalodon basically becoming the new gunner, maybe even exactly why his design looks so similar, aka he's now the general, the boss of Io's army, while his nitro fuel also being a big reason why Geno wants him. Just imagine how helpful that fuel would be to make the Io much stronger and even have better technologies running using that fuel. And of course, all of these villains I talk about will have their own teams they are bosses of in the Io, just like how Midas did as well with his Ghost faction. Megalodon will have Machinists and the others as his team. Montague brings back other society members from the past as his team. For Zeus, maybe gods like Ares and Artemis join his side. While as I said, the Io is created from an inner circle of 6 villains, but that's 5. The 6th one should be Dr. Stone herself. I know she feels to be a good person now, but this line from chapter 4 and what Optimus Prime used to say, and this other line tells us how. No, Dr. Stone is still really selfish. So Geno could promise Stone of this time not just becoming a higher member of Io, but actually becoming one of the inner circle, in return of her coming back to work and supporting him. If not, the 6th person could be a new villain that we have never seen before, or maybe even a person from chapter 4. Maybe Kate of Thorns if they manage to make him alive, or someone from Mega, or Relic, the guy from the Jungle season. But the 6th person is a mystery for now. I really hope you're starting to see what I'm getting at. We got to see the origin of the original Imagine Order within chapter 4. Now in this chapter we're watching the creation of a new Io happening right in front of us, as what Doom is doing right now, trying to build his own version of Io, a perfect society as he promised. That kind of proves me even more that Fortnite is really focused on the idea of recreating this Io. This plot is even exactly the rest of the Zero War comics storyline, the same comics that teased us Geno before his true story arc begins in the game. So the ending of this season and chapter should be where we see the rest of exactly this page in the comics. Doom goes away for now, then Geno uses his perfect society to help him start the new Io, and we finally get to see Geno's actual story within Fortnite. Not an origin story just like how Ageless or the Zero War comics are meant to be, but the actual real thing. And don't forget how Doom stole the Ice King weapons in the order of Geno. He even used one of those powerful collections in this chapter, which was the Wanderer cloak, allowing him to look like a ghost and have ghost-like powers. The color of it being all white to represent how it's meant to look like these designs. As I've explained in this video, Geno is meant to be smarter and stronger than Doom is, at least before Doom got the Pandora's powers. So I really think that all this time the mastermind has been using Doom as also part of his plan to create a new Io. Doom took the Ice King weapons into his castle, and the same castle is on the map right now. Geno is just gonna go in there and take all of those weapons for himself. He just wanted Doom to take them away so the 7 or the last reality can access them instead of him. Therefore, even this very season we're going through is part of the plan Geno has made. It's the very start of a new order beginning. This should hopefully be exactly how chapter 6 begins, and the Imagine Order finally returning to the story with Geno's arc beginning, and to make all of the villains and every story we have gone through so far not really feel worthless, by all of them being part of Geno's plans, to also that making Geno become an iconic and just beloved gaming villain. Now think of this, imagine how it's gonna feel like for Geno to deal with like all of these people in his faction. Valeria goes, "Teach me lore, teach me the 0 point, teach me everything, or I'm gonna beat you." Then Zeus goes like, "Please, I beg Geno, kill Kratos. He's hunting me, he's scary. I see him in my every nightmare. please. Montague goes like, money, money, diamond, woohoo. Who said Midas is cooler than me? I'm richer. I got diamond, he got big, ew. Gold. Who likes gold? Look at diamond. So much shiny, so much better. Wow. Nah. Midas can't turn anything into gold. He's richer. Well, I can also turn everything into... Oh, wait. Oh. Wait, how? Then worst of them all, Megalodon.
My birthday!
They're gonna annoy Geno so much he's just gonna give up making a new IO. He's just gonna go to therapy every day. Check out my Patreon, link in the description. The support from there allows me to make these videos. Look at these legends supporting the channel. Thank you so much. I'm gonna eat one of them. Yummy! Now in the start of this video, I did not just bring up the return of Geno, the creation of a new IO using these villains, but I also said how not just IO, the 7, the last reality, both of those should also return within chapter 6. The mega reality is to return within chapter 6 thanks to an entire survey of skins themed around the historic side of that world, and the samurai side of it which directly links to the river guard as well. Then more importantly, recently we have been getting a lot of cosmetics directly connected to the past storyline. We are getting a new wrap with cube runes and even runes that didn't exist before, a new cube skin, a weapon wrap based on the aliens, then finally a skin with armor built out of the chromium. Yes, the very material that created the Spire, and the very thing that the Spire assassins used as armor, the ones that used to work for the Imagine Order. Then the same material that caused Raz to get corrupted and controlled by the last reality, because this same material was said in chapter 3 to be directly connected to Chrome itself. I am 100% sure that this armor is made out of chromium, I have zero doubts on that. But the question now is why? Why suddenly out of nowhere we're getting so much last reality cosmetics? And also a skin with material connected to both the last reality and IO. Well, that's because if you remember, Fortnite at the end of every chapter likes to use cosmetics as a way to tease what's coming in the future. A big example of that being this emote teasing the end of a chapter. The Spire was a material that originated from the last reality, but it was being used by the IO against them. What if this skin is trying to remind us of Chromia? And how with Geno's return we're gonna get to learn about that thing more too. Then these last reality cosmetics are here to remind us of how we're still not safe from them. And any day now they could be here again to end us all. Which if so, there's a fury that Clark told me involved while playing the last Scythe event.
Basically, you know how chapter 5 was the first half of chapter 2?
Yeah.
Chapter might be the second half. Alien DMC, we might get the more of the Mandalorian stuff, like a lot of that stuff. Another version of Primal or something. Like a lot of that stuff might come back.
Clark's theory is pretty smart, and if it does happen, it kind of supports my theory too. Season 5 was when IO finally revealed themselves to us. And if chapter 6 season 1 counts as season 5, well, the creation of a new Imagine Order would kind of fit the same vibe. Season 6 was about the Chromium and the Spire. Well, this skin might tease to us how Chromium will play a part again in chapter 6 season 2. Season 7 was alien themed with last reality getting in, so that could be when we finally start seeing the return of the last reality. And maybe because of that, just like chapter 2 season 8, chapter 6 becomes yet another Imagine Order versus the last reality, but this time Geno is prepared for it. So that's the Imagine Order and the last reality, but how does the 7 play into this? If you remember, last time that we heard of the 7, news came that they all have been captured by the last reality and then taken into their motherships. This was done by the Chrome and its ability to teleport people through its energy. The 7 have been said to be getting corrupted and completely changed as beings, become mindless soldiers of the nothing. So the exact same thing which happened to Raz is now happening to them. I believe that before the last reality arrives, they will first send the corrupted 7 in chapter 6 season 3 to prepare the island for their arrival within season 4. But I don't think that the 7 will forever be controlled by the last reality. Amy jumped into the rift gate of chapter 4, and ever since she has been trying her best to find and save the 7. It's now been a year or two since Amy has been doing this, so she for sure has found the cure on how to save the 7 from what the last reality has done to them. I believe that Amy will return to us exactly at the same time as the 7, then being forced to get help from Geno and telling him what the cure is, so together they save the 7.
She won't stop calling me Dad.
Daddy, but on my way, Dad. Sorry, attractive father?
Now once the 7 get cured by Geno, they kind of have no rights to fight Geno at that moment, and Geno will bring up to them the lines he said in Zero War Comics to Foundation, how you always thought my way of protecting the world was wrong. Now you get the chance to do it your own way, but if you fail, that will be the end of everything. Well, Geno was actually right, Foundation did fail, and as said, it was about to be the end of everything. So when Geno brings these things up to the Foundation, it's gonna make him feel horrible. Like, what right do I have to attack Geno when I failed everyone? So this manipulation and trick Geno brings up on the Foundation is for a big reason. I believe Geno knows to take down the last reality, everybody needs to unite together. So even though Geno would rather see the 7 die, he saves them just because he needs them to unite with him only for fighting the last reality together. And that's becoming the ending of chapter 6. Right when we're done defeating the last reality, Geno goes back to betraying the 7 and becoming a villain again. Now there is another video that I have also made which talks about Geno's return and everything we just talked about. It's really similar to this video. It talks about the same things and even more. This right here, click on it. It's an amazing video. It's awesome. You will love it. It talks about Geno. Go right now, you will love it.